Welcome to another episode of Let's Get Down to Business. I'm Carrie Gatto with Keller Williams Realty, and today I'm interviewing Christina Pascucci-Ciampa, owner of All She Wrote Books. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Carrie.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing really well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited to talk with y'all about All She Wrote Books and what we do in the community and in general and as a small business. So thank you. And I admire all the work that you're doing right now to highlight small businesses in the Somerville area as well. So thank you so much for that. I know it
Thank
goes a long
you.
way for a lot of us. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's my pleasure. Can you briefly describe your business for us?
Yeah, sure. So we are a uh, independently owned bookstore, but we're specifically a feminist queer bookstore. So we focus in on stocking female authors, queer authors, non-binary authors, mostly those authors who have been historically marginalized throughout um, history, really. And we really make a focus to curate those kinds of books across all genres and really specifically highlight them for the worth that they bring to us and the stories in the pages that are reflective of so many interesting and amazing you know things in this life, which I think is so important. So it's about sharing those stories that otherwise sometimes get lost in the bigger shelves of like other indie bookstores, other general bookstores, which is fine, that they have their purpose, they serve theirs, but we serve ours, and it's just slightly different by having that highly curated selection of books that maybe otherwise people wouldn't necessarily take a look at.
It's really awesome and really special. That's
Thank you.
really great.
Yeah, I love what I do. So it's
That's
great.
so good. Where are you located?
So that's a great question. So the bookstore itself is located at Assembly Row in Somerville, Mass. We are next to, for those of you who are familiar with Assembly, we are next to Total Ramen, which is a little small, great ramen chain, as well as Muse Painting. So we're down like one of those little side streets that sometimes maybe you wouldn't necessarily explore in Assembly, but I think that's what makes it
Oh,
like more interesting and more special to come and visit us is the chance to kind of check out different side of Assembly that you maybe otherwise wouldn't. I know there's a lot going on down in Assembly right now, which is exciting as well, but it's nice to be part of that and be a part of that community as well. And we also we originally started it out of this location that I'm in right now, which is my home in East Somerville. We started as a pop-up bookstore first before we actually opened our brick and mortar.
wow.
In 2019, April of 2019, I had my first pop-up ever. I started with 20 books and started with the IKEA cart that's actually right around the corner from me where I sit. And started that way. Just was selling used books and having conversations with people about the books that we loved and books that were talking about challenging topics like social justice and feminism, intersectional feminism in particular, white feminism, misogyny, things of that nature, and other topics as well. So it just started a whole conversation point, and then that just grew from there, and we started stocking other books, and that was really exciting as well. And it's been a crazy journey. We had the opportunity to open up our brick and mortar at Assembly Row in 2020, not intentional. It was originally this was all early 2020
Wow.
when we agreed to everything, and then in March we got our keys, and 3 days later Governor Baker was like, we're shut
Oh
down,
my
non-essential
God.
is shut down. I'm like, oh boy, this is great. And I was very nervous because I was really excited for this opportunity, but I didn't know if, it would happen or not. But luckily it did. And we opened our doors for the public on July 10th of 2020. And so
Oh,
we'll be
wow.
celebrating 2 years this year. at the location, which is really exciting. And yeah, we were open during the pandemic, but we made sure that our customers came first and their safety came first. And that meant, at one point we were wearing gloves to touch books. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but nobody
Right.
knew about debunking about I knew the public library was like shelving books for 5 days, for like quarantining them for 5 days after people took them out. Like nobody knew. And so, for a small business, that's really hard to quarantine books
Yes.
for 5 days. So yeah, so we just like kept doing that, but it was all about just like bringing our community together just in a different way, but then also making sure that we were having conversations that were and space to have those conversations, even including the difficult ones that have been going on for the last couple of years. And I think that says a lot about a space. It says a lot about a book, a small indie bookstore as well. And that's what we're there for, is to have those types of conversations. So, but yeah, that's kind of how we started. And but yeah, we're located there, and I'm excited to be at Assembly and all the things. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a great location. I mean,
Yeah.
what's better than a good book and a bowl of ramen?
Exactly. Or just like the park is right there, the Mystic River is right there. Imagine like summertime, hello, park bench. Like who doesn't love that? And then you could bring your ramen out too with that. But yeah, definitely.
Right. Or grab an ice cream, whatever. Whoever.
Right. JP Licks. Gotta love the JP Licks. Yes.
Yeah,
So
that is amazing. And congratulations. I
thank
mean, to
you.
come through COVID like that, that's quite an accomplishment. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, super
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it's been a very humbling and amazing experience. It's also been stressful at times too, as I'm sure many business owners have shared with you as well. But I'm humbled by our community. I'm humbled by the work that we're doing in the community as well. And I just
Yeah,
I see great things in the future. So it's very exciting.
awesome. Now, where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from, see, that's the funny part. Like, I don't have an accent. People are like, where are you from? I'm like, I am from, oh, I'm from originally from the North Shore here in Massachusetts. So I grew up there for most of my life. And then I thought I wanted to go out to school in Denver, Colorado. Did not work out that way. I like the ocean more than mountains, I guess. I'm not a skier either. So, but yeah, no, I'm originally from the North Shore, and I don't have any family there anymore. We're mostly all scattered now, but all still in the North Shore, all still doing really, still close by. So, yeah.
Nice. I wondered if you were going to say Texas because I noticed a y'all earlier. So,
Yeah, yeah, no, not from Texas, definitely not from the South. It's more of just the way that I talk, because I think it's important to not, I'm trying hard to change my vocabulary a little bit. So instead of saying guys for everyone, like, hey guys,
yeah,
saying y'all or folks is just more gender neutral. And allows for people to be seen, but in a more kind of humbling way. So been
like
trying
that.
to do that a little bit more. I like the y'all thing. I don't even have an accent though. And it's like, people are like, I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I swear.
No, no
But it's,
apology necessary. I love
yeah,
it.
no, but no, not from Texas. No,
Yeah.
no, from Massachusetts. I can roll my R's in certain situations, but for right now, it's not a thing.
Glad we cleared
Um,
that
yeah. No, I appreciate that. That was a good question.
up.
So,
Um, so what are your goals over the next year?
yeah, that's a great question. So, one of our biggest goals is really to bring back in-person events. So, we had done a couple of virtual events online during the pandemic. I'll be honest with you, they were okay sometimes, not very well attended. Sometimes they were greatly attended. It just depended on like what happened. Anyway, so yeah, no, hoping to bring back more in-person events. So I'm excited to announce that we have an author event coming up in April 14th. So it is right before school vacation week. And we also, we'll also be doing some big events for Independent Bookstore Day, which is on April 30th, where we're hoping to have a panel of lesbian romance authors, local ones, which will be maybe really exciting. Yes, fingers crossed we can get everybody. And we also have another local author, New England author, coming into the mix as well, that will be doing a book signing. And then we also have a comedy night actually coming to the store. We've been having open mics for comics to come with small audiences to kind of test out their work, but we're hoping to actually launch like an actual full lineup in April, which would be really exciting as well. So in-person events is where it's at. Drag Queen Story Hour is another thing that we're hoping to launch as well, which we're so excited about. And there's just in-person events. Like that's kind of like one of my biggest goals going into the near future. We also have the pleasure of, we're going to be hosting the First Lady of Iceland. She actually published a book this year, earlier in April, called The Secrets of Sparkar. Her name is Eliza Reed. And she's actually coming to the Somerville Theater on May 26th. So I'm really, really excited for that opportunity. So cool. And so we'll be having up the tickets soon. So stay tuned on that. And so just in-person events, more events in store, more people finding us out, coming to the store as well. I know it's been, a strange 2 years, like I get it. Like I was not frequenting a lot of places either. Like I was really literally going to work and coming home. And that was my life for like the first year because I was scared, literally scared. So, it's all about like, how you change things and do things and, but I'm really excited for the future and like what we're going to be doing with the bookstore and all the things. So, and also Ruby being part of the bookstore as well. I'm really excited for this little pop to, be part of it as well. So, and comfort people. And I don't know, there's a lot going on, hoping to add seating to our space as well. With COVID, we were like, can we clean furniture? Like, I don't know how this would work. Who would want to sit on a rubbery chair? Nobody. Like to read a book? Nobody. So, so it's the little things, but it's also the big things. And that's the part that I'm really excited about, is the potential for all of these things to kind of come together and blend together and work together. So.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of exciting things lining up.
Yeah, lots of stuff. So.
Yeah. What do you love most about the neighborhood or Somerville in general? You live there, you've opened a store there.
So the one thing I love, and this is probably the biggest reason why I love living in East Somerville, but also Somerville in general, is there's such a vibrant community here. We are really lucky to have, so many, not only just amazing restaurants and small businesses, other small businesses as well, but also the ability to be so close to Boston, the different types of areas that Somerville represents. I think but also how the community comes out for its community. I think that's the other thing. So how we show up for community, the Somerville community is definitely very strong about that. And that's the part that I love about it so much. A really great example of that is actually, we're partnering currently with Connection, which is a United Methodist church, but they are technically a nonprofit as well. And they run nonprofit, all different types of events. We actually partnered with them recently because they have a beautiful space in their front of their kind of area store. It's not a storefront, but it's in front of their building. And we actually built an entire free library there with them. And that will be accessible to the public, hopefully in the next month or so. And so we're really excited about that opportunity.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. And working with them to build that curation, but also bring programming as well. And that will be focused in on LGBTQ as well as BIPOC community members. And so that to me is really, really amazing and such a great opportunity to do that as well. So it's how the community shows up for each other. been so fortunate to make so many neighborhood friends, and not just with Ruby, having Ruby as a dog, but just being in the community in general. I think that's the beautiful thing about Somerville and why I love living here. I also, love all the other things that, I think we always talk about when we talk about why would you want to live in Somerville? Well, there's obviously the proximity to Boston. There's the opportunity to, get on the T at like two different ends. Like there's all that kind of stuff. But I think it
Right.
really boils down to, what your community represents and like how people show up for each other. And that to me is like what that means. And I think Somerville has constituents in their, in the area that really show up for others and really do great things. And that to me is like my biggest thing of like why I love it here and why I choose to still be here for that matter. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. I think that's really well said. I mean, you can't put a price tag on that.
Never. No, you really can't. Like, and that's the thing. I love my neighbors. I love, the folks that have been here for 20 plus years. And trust me, you can know who they are. But they're lovely humans. Like, you can find the good in those people, even when there's disagreements, and I think that's the part we have to remember too, is, that we may not necessarily see eye to eye, but there are things that we can come together on and work together on. And I think that like, that's the opportunity. That's the opportunity to show up for the community when we're able to do that. And so, yeah, no, I think it's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to stay here. Like I initially started renting here. I rented, and then my partner and I were like, okay, we'd love to stay here permanently. And we did everything we could. And, we were able to permanently stay here for the time being. And we're happy and we love the space that we're in, and it's a great place. So I'm very, we're very fortunate to do that. But yeah.
And you're such an important part of that community building as well.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the part of All She Wrote Books that was meant to, be the important part, was like that community building and all the things, so that's the thing. Like, that's the biggest reason why, like, doing that. And it's not just for our LGBTQ teens and BIPOC teens. It's also for, our younger youth as well, and the trans community as well. So it's all of these different communities that we're helping support. And I think that's, that's what it comes down to. So,
yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Lastly, Christina, can you just tell us how to find you or find what's going on so people can?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So you can always find us on all information about All She Wrote Books, including what we have for books in store on allshewrotebooks.com all the time. That is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We process orders very quickly. So, and we have local shipping as well as shipping. We ship across the United States as well as internationally. So if you have loved ones that you want to send books to that maybe are not here in Massachusetts, you can still do that. We also have a very heavy, very popular Instagram at All She Wrote Books. So we announce a lot of things there as well. So any events that we're running, any book sales we're running, any authors that are coming in, or any books that we're excited about will be there. Same with Facebook. And we also, Facebook is also at All She Wrote Books. We also have a Twitter handle. Twitter is a little bit of a dumpster fire in my opinion. So I don't do it a lot, but we're on there. So if you did want to tag us on there, you sure could. It's at books_she_they. And those, and then, or you can just come and visit us at Assembly. So we're located at 451 Artisan Way in Somerville at Assembly Row. We are located pretty much near the JP Licks. So we're not far from there at all. And you can just find us there during our business hours. We're open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, 12 to 6, at Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 7, and Sundays, 2 to 6. So, and all that information, of course, is on allshewrotebooks.com. So, and you can obviously reach out to us as well. We have an email, info@allshewrotebooks.com. So if you have questions or need help curating, you know, LGBTQ books for your classroom, if you're a teacher, we also offer teacher discounts as well. So if you're a part of the Massachusetts Teachers Association, or even if you're a teacher at a charter school, you still get a discount. So please come and visit us. So that's another thing as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're covering all the bases. This is
You
great.
got
I
to
can't
cover
wait to
all of it.
listen.
Yeah, no, we got to make sure we get everybody, so, and that's the most important piece of it too. So
Thank you so much for your time today. This was
yes,
wonderful meeting you.
it was so lovely chatting with you as well, Carrie. Thank you so much for this and for the opportunity to tell folks more about us and for them to come and visit us, whether it's online or in person. We love either way. We'd love to see you. And yeah, no, thank you again for this great opportunity. And you can come by and meet Ruby, even though you might have seen only an ear of her, maybe a half a face in this in this conversation today. She'll be there pretty much all the time for the most part. So if you wanted to meet a very fluffy corgi puppy, there's
I'm
another
going.
reason. So
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for watching today, and hope you'll check out All She Wrote books soon. Have a great day. Bye,
thanks
everyone.
all.